right, guys, we got our first bear of the night. It is 8:42, and like clockwork, the bear came out right exactly where I said they were gonna come out. Check this out. Good morning, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. It's High Country Dan, and welcome to the 2025 Montana Spring Bear Hunt. It is May 25th today. Actually, May 24th, sorry, skipped a day ahead. And this is actually my first trip out this year for the season. Unfortunately, it's just been kind of a crazy year with life and everything else that's going on. I just haven't had the opportunity to go out. Lost my mom. She passed away here a couple of weeks ago, and so it's just been one of those springs. Haven't had the time or energy, and it's got a lot going on with all that. So I'm really excited to get out. This being the first hunt of the year, I always really anticipate spring bear hunting. It's my favorite time of the year, one of my favorite hunts. So my buddy Jake and I are headed out into a new area. I have 9 days to get it done. Jake's going to be hunting with me, I think, for the next 3 days, and he's got to come back and get to work. But we're headed into a new area. Pretty excited. I have never stepped foot into the country that we're headed into, which always sometimes brings a little bit of apprehension and just kind of also some excitement of seeing some new country, seeing some new ground. Jake's hunted there before, not specifically for bears, and he's only been in there, I think, maybe just a handful of times, a couple times anyway. And so it's going to be kind of a new spot for us to adventure into this year. We're looking for some giant bears, so stay tuned. It's going to be pretty exciting. I hope you guys enjoy this video. And if you haven't had a chance, go back and watch last year's bear video, the 2024 Spring Bear Hunt. My buddy Trent came out from Minnesota, and we got him a great bear. And I'm just really hoping maybe we can find that big jet black. We're going to find him. I got a feeling we're going to find a big jet black on this trip, get him killed. So enjoy this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Let's get it done. At the trailhead, getting ready to roll out, loaded down, heavy.
After about a 3.5 mile hike, we finally found a flat, suitable spot to set up our base camp for the remainder of the hunt. This spot gave us a great view of the valley around us, and as you can see, Jake's got his Seek Outside Cimarron teepee tent set up. I'm tucked back in the trees with a little more cover for my hammock set up. And Mako the doggo has his little teepee tent set up next to mine for comfort. We decided to hike up the ridge above camp after getting camp set up to see if we could find a suitable glassing spot for the rest of the evening. This little bench was a great vantage point, but it didn't quite give us the view we were looking for the basin ahead. We needed to hike up higher and gain about another 800 feet in elevation to get the right view of the mountainside I was hoping to glass. After about another 30 minutes of grinding up the ridge, we finally found a spot that gave us a great view of this beautiful mountain basin.
Well, we got the first bear of the trip. 5:30, roughly. And it is a long ways away.
5 miles away.
Yeah. Oh, there's the sun's shining off it. Of course, the chocolate bear, the chocolate curse continues.
It's always exciting when you can find a bear 30 minutes after sitting down at your glassing spot, especially when you're in an area that you've never hunted before. We were pretty excited to turn up a bear that fast and hopeful that it would be a good sign for the rest of the week to come. As you can see, this is a pretty bear, but it looked to be a pretty small bear from my experience. You can tell by the way it walks, the front end size, and the distance between its belly and the ground that it's most likely a young sow. This bear definitely doesn't have what I'm looking for as far as size and maturity, but nonetheless, it's exciting to find that first bear of the trip. If you look closely, you can see the back end or butt of this bear is much larger than the front end. This can be a good indicator that it's a female or sow bear, as females have a sideways teardrop shape.
Well, we spotted our first bear of the night, of the trip, first night. Hiked up here above camp. We're about 1,200 feet maybe above camp. And hiked back into this basin, the Glasses Basin, but unfortunately, it's just not quite as green as I'd like it to be, for there to be a lot of bear activity up in here where I'm at right now. But on the way in, we'd glassed a really pretty green meadow on the other side of the canyon, and I had commented to Jake that was a pretty good spot. Might actually see a bear there. And sure enough, about 30 minutes into glassing, Jake spotted a bear in that meadow. And I spotted it almost simultaneously. So a nice chocolate bear. Of course, the chocolate bear curse continues. Looks to be a sow, but it's honestly about, 3 miles as a crow flies probably away, and didn't get to watch it for too terribly long. Got a little bit of phone scope, and we'll throw that in here, but it's just so far away you can't really tell. So yeah, we're gonna keep glassing tonight. I think that spot where we spotted that bear is probably the best spot in this drainage. Just my experience in looking at everything that we've looked at so far, I just haven't seen anything else that really screams bear, as far as the topography and the feed and the features. So interesting. Hopefully, there's quite a bit more country up behind me, but it's just not green yet. There's still a fair amount of snow in here, and haven't really seen any tracks, so might be a little early for this spot. Even though it's the last 2 weeks of the season, it might be all we get in here. So keep you posted. Probably in the morning we'll hike up on the ridge across the canyon here from us, so we can glass that spot over there.
we'll be about a mile closer and able to make a move if we decide we want to go after something. So keep looking. With only about 30 minutes of light left, we decided to still hunt our way back to camp. There was some green meadows and one with fresh bear sign in it that we'd crossed on our way up that we wanted to check just before dark. I was a little concerned with this area as the grass was just starting to sprout and it was just under an inch, as you can see here. Sometimes this can be good as it will force bears into smaller feeding areas where the grass or vegetation is really popping. A lot like that meadow we spotted the chocolate bear in earlier. Well, night one has almost officially come to an end. It is 8:15. We just saw the one bear tonight. We zigzagged our way down the mountain through what appeared to be about the greenest spot on the mountain. We did find some bear poop from a small bear that was maybe a day or two old. So they're around, but just not much green grass. Not lush green grass anyway. So that's going to be the key. The bears seem to be hanging out at about maybe 8,000 feet, somewhere around in there. So we'll see. We'll call it a night. I think the plan for tomorrow is to hike up on the ridge above camp on the other side of the canyon, glass up into this, call it a west-facing canyon, and then over into where we saw that bear tonight. Like I said, cut the distance maybe by about a mile. Try to get a better look at him if he comes out tomorrow morning, and definitely be maybe a little closer in position for tomorrow night if we don't see him tomorrow morning. So thanks for tuning in, guys. We shall see you tomorrow. Good morning, guys. It is day 2, about 9 o'clock, just after. Had a good night's sleep last night, and we're headed up the mountain to go do some more glassing. We did spot another bear last night, just before dark. Actually, Jake spotted a black bear, pitch black bear, in the same meadow or same feature as that chocolate colored bear we saw last night. It was just down a little bit lower in one of the other meadows. Couldn't really tell because it was pretty dark when we found him again. And so it was, 3 miles away. It looked like a jet black, maybe a smaller black bear. But we're going to head up the ridge this morning, do some glassing, go do some scouting, and learn some new country. So stay tuned. Let's see what we can find. All right, guys, I'm going to give you a little pro tip here. Making some lunch, and I wanted to show you my setup. So this is my little glassing mat that I have that's basically just an old piece of foam bedding, like for a bedroll, foam bedroll, and it's black on one side, which is awesome because it gets hot. And so what I've done here is I've filled my Nalgene bottle with some snow from the snowbank. And you always want to get the snow that's on the bottom of the snowbank when it's on a hill, right? Because that's where the snow is going to be the most dense with moisture and water. So fill up the bottle with snow, and then I put it in the direct sunlight out of the wind up against this foam pad, and it will melt the snow and fill my water bottle. I did the same thing with my little pot here. And the beauty of these titanium pots is that, you know, you use them in a campfire or something like that, they also turn black. And so that black will absorb the heat from the sun and melt snow. So I've got my water in there. It's about to boil. For lunch, I've got some rice noodles, chicken, bone broth, and a package of sweet spicy tuna in there. So that'll be my lunch for this afternoon. But that's your pro tip. Again, try to find a glassing pad that's got, or a foam bedroll pad that's got black on one side of it, and then it'll soak up the rays from the sun and melt your water. And I got free water. So great tip for today. All right, guys, so I've got another exciting product to show you and bring to you guys today. If you're looking for the perfect way to fuel all of your electronic devices in the backcountry, look no further than this guy. This thing right here is awesome. So let's talk about what this is. This is a solar panel system that I picked up off of Amazon. The beautiful part about this product is that it's affordable and it's ultra lightweight and it works incredibly well. So let's take a look at what we got here. You're going to want to check this out. All right, guys, so what do we got here? We have this ultra 3-panel, incredibly durable, waterproof solar panel. This is what it is. It's the E20 Pro flexible solar charger, model E20 Pro. And so as you can see on here, hopefully, it's a 20-watt solar panel. It's got one USB-A port that outputs 5 volts max, USB-C port that outputs 5 volt max, which are right here. And as you guys can see, there's your USB-A, USB-C, and then it's got a little red light here indicating that it is receiving power, and hopefully you can see that it is red. This thing is awesome, guys. I will post the specs in the video right now, but I believe it weighs just under 14 ounces, like 13.52 ounces. It is incredibly lightweight, incredibly foldable, so you can slide this right down in your backpack. I actually keep it in the external pocket on my pack so that it's available. It's got these nice little carabiners so you can hook it onto your pack or whatever. But this thing is epic, guys. For its weight, it's incredible. So just really tickled with this thing. Like I said, it's ultra lightweight. And you know, for the budget conscious hunter, this is definitely a great option. You know, if you guys look at the Goal Zero products, Goal Zero has an 18-watt solar panel. I think it's a 2-panel, not a 3. But it's an 18-watt, so it's got less output than this. And it weighs, I think, 15.3 ounces. Don't quote me on that. I'll put the specs on there. But that thing sells for like $240. $240. You could buy like, I don't know. I'm not going to do the math. I'm not good at it. But you could buy like 10 of these for that price. So get yourself one of these, guys. There's several different brands on Amazon. Like I said, I'll put the link in the description. I'll throw it on my Amazon page in the hunting gear products. And yeah, something new, something cool, something ultralight. Flex solar energy. All right, guys, update. It is about 1:30 on Sunday afternoon. And we hiked up to this glassing knob this morning and got up here just before 10 a.m. And we've elected to just camp out here today. We've got the best vantage point that I think we could possibly find to look into that feature where we saw the bears last night. And also it allows us to glass across the main drainage into some other pretty good looking areas, which is what I'm doing right now. But yeah, just a quick update on where we're at and what we're doing. Seen a couple elk this morning, handful of mule deer, no moose today, surprisingly. But realistically, like I said earlier, I think we're in here about 2 weeks too early. And unfortunately, with the snow levels this year, 2 weeks from now is going to be the end of the season. So I won't be able to make it back in here this year. Our play for right now is we're going to sit up here and wait. Hopefully those bears will come out early this evening again. It's pretty hot today. It's supposed to get really hot the rest of the week, so they may not come out as early as they did yesterday. But hopefully they'll come out early enough for us to bail off the mountain and make a play on them. They're still every bit of 2 miles as a crow flies, maybe. Well, actually, as a crow flies across the canyon, it's not that far. But on the ground, boots miles, it's probably about 2 miles. We have to drop down to the bottom about 1,500 feet to the creek and then climb up to about the same elevation that we're at right now. Maybe not quite this high.
A few moments later.
Well, guys, I wish I had a good update, but I don't. It's almost 6:45, and we have yet to spot a bear. It's been hot all day, and I don't know if that's the reason we haven't seen anything, but we've been camped out on this point all day, really hoping that we would be able to make a play on these bears if they showed up in this meadow like they were last night. And so far, nada. Still got a couple hours to glass, but yeah, no bears yet. We need some willpower. Need the bears to show up. Will them into existence. And hopefully, maybe we'll get an opportunity still yet tonight, but we got a lot of distance to cover in a short amount of time. If they do come out right before dark, it probably isn't going to happen. We shall see. Well, guys, that is a wrap for day 2. Unfortunately, we saw 0 bears tonight. A little disappointing, obviously, and a little bewildering as to why we didn't see any bears. We had an amazing vantage point all day, camped out above camp, and could glass a lot of country. But most importantly, the feature that we had seen those bears in last night. And yeah, nothing came out. So bad news for you guys, but as I always say, everything happens for a reason. So anyway, this is day 2. We're signing out, and tomorrow, I don't know if we're gonna hike out of here tomorrow and go try to find a different spot. It's not green enough. You guys have heard me say it over and over again. I think we're 2 weeks or too early here, so maybe go try to find a different area with maybe some greener pastures. So stay tuned. The next morning we got up early and glassed that bear meadow as best as we could from camp at first light. Unfortunately, we didn't see any bears, but that's not unusual for those early morning hours. Generally, bears are late morning risers, and they can be a little lethargic sometimes, emerging closer to 9 or 10 in the morning. It was Jake's last day to hunt, and we wanted to get within striking distance of that meadow for that mid-morning window. There's a good chance the bears might feed in it since they failed to make appearance last night. Plus, That meadow happened to be on the way back out towards the truck. So we packed up our camp and we headed that way. We made it to a spot closer to that meadow and glassed for about an hour with no luck. We decided to call it and pack our way back out to the pickup trucks. Well, good morning, everyone. It is day 3, and as you can see, I'm in my truck. Jake and I hiked out this morning. We got up about 7, went and glassed what we could see from camp and the hillside there by camp, and unfortunately just not seeing anything. It was definitely getting a lot greener, even from yesterday until today. It got a lot greener, and so I think it'll get better in the coming days and weeks in there, but just couldn't see enough of what I consider to be bear features, places where you're gonna find bears and have a pretty good opportunity of killing them. Neat country, cool to go explore some new ground, but just didn't have quite what I was looking for in terms of finding big giant black bears. So don't know where we're going. We're just on the road. We're gonna go explore, maybe see if we can find some more areas to bear hunt. Got 5 more days basically. So kind of down to the wire a little bit. We gotta get her done and find some country, and kind of glassing and looking around here on the way out, see what we can find, but that's the plan. All right, guys. Well, it is afternoon of day 3, and it's just Mako Doggo and I hiking in. Jake had to head home and get back to work tomorrow, and had to get some work done on his truck. So we are flying solo for the next 5-ish days, 4.5, just to see what we can see. I'm hiking into a new spot right now. You may or may not be able to see. Looks like got a storm chasing us. The big thunder clouds have been popping off a little bit on the way in here. And yeah, I don't know. No idea, I've never been in here. Looks pretty cool, look good on a map. It's pretty green. I actually was gonna come in from the back side of this particular part of the mountain range and took a road about 3 miles up and hit a private fence that was locked. So we're hiking in now from the other side, and could be probably maybe 2-3 mile hike. I didn't bring all of my food. I'm only gonna plan to stay in here maybe a couple of days, depending on what it looks like once we get up in here. It looks like it should be pretty good, but you never know. That's the joys of hunting in an area you've never been before. So stay tuned, let's find some bears. I really like that it's overcast right now and this storm's rolling in. This could make some good hunting conditions this afternoon. Bears might be out early, so fingers crossed we find a big old black to whack. Thanks for watching, guys. We are almost to the top of where we're going. We're actually gonna go kind of up and over that knob there. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm testing this new microphone in the wind, see how well it does, but it's not as green up here as I was hoping, but that's all right. I think no matter what, I'm gonna stay up here tonight, find a place to camp. Looks like I could be in some definite shed country, find some elk or mule deer sheds, and maybe even find a bear. It's pretty cool up here. I've never been down in this country, and I definitely would come back here and do some hunting, I think, for mule deer and elk, probably late season. Be pretty cool to get up in here. All right, fingers crossed we're gonna find a bear. Well guys, we made it back into the spot that I wanted to get into. Just over 3 miles in here, uphill the whole way, but it wasn't too bad. It was actually a pretty good little hike. So it is absolutely gorgeous up in here. Definitely think we might find a bear, but again, one of those things where it's just not quite popping green enough. I'll give you a pano here in a moment of what I'm looking at, but really cool country. Spotted a herd of bull elk. I think there was like 6 bulls in there, which is pretty exciting. Hopefully maybe we'll be able to pick apart the countryside and find some sheds. It's hard to say. They got pretty good growth already, a couple months worth of growth. So who knows where they actually wintered at and if they've been in here or if they migrated in here already. But anyway, that is the scoop for now. It is, I think, about 5 p.m. Can't see my watch here. Yeah, 5:30. And the dog and I, Mako's taking a nap. The dog and I are going to go see if we can find a camp. We're either going to camp down here in the timber, or there's a patch of trees right over here where I think we can camp in the timber and kind of glass into this drainage. So that's the plan for tonight. Go find a spot to camp right now, at least get our gear dumped. I think we can probably just glass from right up here above camp, whether we camp down there or over there. I don't think it's really going to matter. It's just finding the right spot. And then hopefully, yeah, we can glass up a bear in here tonight. I got a good feeling we're going to see something. So, wish us luck. Well guys, we got about an hour until dark. Mako Doggo and I made it back up onto the glassing knob and the rainstorm rolled in. Thankfully it's just been kind of a light drizzle on and off. Obviously got a lot of footage, but we've been glassing. We turned up those same elk. They actually fed over the ridge towards us. There's 8, oh my gosh, this thing's killing me. There's 8 bulls in there, which is pretty cool. Saw 1 mule deer and 1 antelope buck, and haven't really seen anything else. As far as features go for bears, I don't know that there's a lot in here for where I would be like, oh yeah, that's where we're gonna see a bear. That's where we're gonna find a bear. There's a really good little green flat down here that I think is probably the best bet. If I were going to say there was a bear that would come out, it's going to be on that flat, and it's probably not going to come out until right at dark would be my guess. But we're up here, we're glassing, dog's snoring on my lap. Got him covered up with my coat as he's shivering. But yeah, we'll keep you updated, and hopefully we'll see some more game and some critters, and fingers crossed a big giant bear.
A few moments later. A few minutes later.
All right, guys, we got our first bear of the night. It is 8:42, and like clockwork, the bear came out right exactly where I said they were gonna come out. Check this out.
Yes. 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 Vision thing. Yes.
Immediately, you can tell this is a large bear. If you compare this bear to the bear Jake and I spotted the first night, you can see the difference in size between the front and rear end of these bears. This is a clear indicator that this is a large boar or male bear. This is a very big bear, and a bear I named Chunky Monkey.
Well, guys, I'm stoked, but I'm also highly disappointed. I mean, it's really awesome that we're watching a bear. It's a chunky bear. It's definitely a boar. It's definitely a pretty good sized bear. But it's chocolate. The chocolate curse is killing me. I just can't catch a break. I don't know. We're gonna find a black bear. We're gonna find a black one. But that bear is pretty good size. That's a chunky monkey. Well, guys, I'm kind of conflicted. That's a pretty nice bear. Obviously, tonight I don't have the daylight. I don't have the time to get over there. I got to cross one really big drainage, and then another pretty small drainage to even get remotely close enough. He's 1,600 yards as a crow flies, probably about 1,800 actually, because I couldn't quite range where he was at, only the tree. But tomorrow, we're going to try to get closer. We'll cut the distance in half. There's a pretty good glassing knob over there. And if the wind is right, I think I'll be able to get closer and we can maybe assess the situation a little bit better. But the sun has gone down. Going to lose light to film here. We did get camp set up down in the trees. It was actually really hard to find. Not really hard, but not easy to find a place to camp. And actually camped right down in the timber down there. And the problem is that the trees are freaking ginormous. And my tree straps are not big enough. Like they're like 4 foot in diameter. Wherever there was a flat spot and a place to hang, the trees were too big. So I ended up hanging on a hillside in there. But it'll work. And we're here. And we got bears. So that's a win. Great night. Stay tuned. This is the end of day 3. And so far, 3 bears. And tonight I've seen 12 bull elk now, and about a handful of mule deers and the 1 antelope buck. So anyway, I'm going to get back behind the glass, take a look at this bear, and maybe we'll find another one before dark.
I continued to glass for the rest of the evening and truly admired the size of this bear. He is an incredible specimen of a truly mature and giant black bear. Unfortunately, no other bears made an appearance for the night. I hoped that tomorrow would bring the sighting of a Godzilla-sized black bear as big as old Chunky Monkey. The rest of the wildlife, including the bull elk, eventually fed down the canyon and the gray light faded to dark.